Hi, welcome to my biology class. Today let's deal with phylum Coelenterata. It is otherwise called as Cnidaria because of the very important protective element in their body, that is cnidoblast. Because of that the animal is safe in their life. Let us discuss about that a bit later. Let's start with their habitat. And look at here, they are mostly marine. The term mostly very important because it is not exclusively marine. Mostly marine and few are still freshwater forms. Hydra is a freshwater form. And habit why so special here is some animals are solitary like Hydra. Some are always in colony like Gorgonia or even corals are all completely in colonial form. And they are sessile, so they are sedentary. Hydra is sedentary, it is attached on the rocky surface with their basal disc. And some are free swimming, like jellyfishes are all free swimming. And when you talk about their body, it is the morphology differs. Trimorphic colonies, they have two important things quite visible, that is polyp is visible and medusae is visible. And this polyp produces the small buds, that is blastostyles. From here the medusae is formed. Medusae is always free swimming and polyp is sessile. And symmetry, they are exhibiting the radial symmetry. All animal belong to this phylum is radially symmetrical. That is, if you cut an animal into two equal halves in any direction, that's the speciality of radial symmetry, and that is primitive too. And when you talk about their germ layers are two diploblastic. There is ectoderm and endoderm, and there is no mesoderm, but there is a very primitive mesoderm kind, it is mesoglia. And let us see all this. And what is the tissue level? See, this is the second phylum under animal kingdom, which is having the tissue level of organization. There is no any organ system like, but there is a tissue level, complete tissue formation has happened. And when you talk about their body wall layer, see, this is the animal and this is the body wall, and center there will be a hollow zone will be present. And here this body wall is having two important layer, epidermis and gastrodermis. In between that there is a small layer called mesoglia. It is a primitive mesoderm, as I mentioned. It does possess some nerve cells in this region. The epidermis is specialized with special cells, and epitheliomuscular cells controls the musculature of an animal. And cnidoblast, as I mentioned, it's a very special cell. And see, look at this is the cnidoblast cell. The cnidoblast cell, this is in resting position and this is in action. And see, cnidoblast has got this cnidocyl, a small barb like thing which is protruding out. And this nematocyst, the entire thing, this thing is a nematocyst which has got this capsule. This is the capsule and this is the shaft and this is the thread. And this capsule is having the shaft and thread completely covered. See, the shaft is placed in here and the thread was just coiling around the shaft, and this is attached with the muscle fibers. This red color and all is a muscle fiber, and this is the nucleus, and this is the lasso, the thread connecting with the muscle fiber. In turn it is connected here. And if in case if any enemy comes and attacks this animal, okay, what happens is the shaft emerging out. This is emerging out like this from the capsule. While emerging out, the barbs present here, this red color, and this barbs are pricking the animal's body, and the thread also has been released. Via this they'll be releasing the hypnotoxin. This hypnotoxin is quite poisonous to the animal, and the enemy may get paralytic or it may escape from here. And this animal is completely safe because of this cnidoblast, and they are so special, and so they are otherwise called even cnidarians. When you talk about this corallium, It is a kind of an exoskeleton in coral reefs. Calcium carbonate will be there. And interstitial cells are totipotent cells, and they are capable of making any type of cells. And nerve cells are again special here, because in the animal kingdom, the first time the nerve net, it is not a complete system, the nerve cells with small nerve net, and this nerve cells are non-polar neurons. There is no any distinct axon and dendrite difference, just a non-polar neuron collection will be there. And because of that, these tentacles are oscillating, and they are able to sense the enemy's arrival and all. See, that's what they've got, a sensory cells, and all are present here. And when you go to the gastrodermis does possess the sensory cell, interstitial cells, and apart from that, the three other important cells, digestive cells and gland cells, nerve cells. The digestive cell, they are very special with producing digestive enzymes, because the food is placed in the mouth. See, the tentacle oscillate and take the food from the water current, and the food is placed via this mouth, hypostome, and which is placed here as to come here and gel with the body. While it is coming, the digestive enzymes from this digestive cell digest the food. What has been digested can be taken directly by the cell, so it is going with intracellular. And the cells of this also should get the food, that goes via, after digestion and all that, it is getting into this cell, extracellular. So both intra and extracellular. In the previous case of porifera, it is directly intracellular. Here both is exhibited, and the digestive system is completely incomplete. That is, you cannot see both the hole, with the top hole and the exit hole. The food is placed in, and the unwanted things are going out via the same opening. Blind sac plan we discussed already. So here it is incomplete. And when you talk about the gland cells are the special cells which produces the content, the chemicals for the digestion, and the hypnotoxins are produced from this, and then this basal disc stick with the rocky surfaces. That's also a kind of a secretion. All the secretions are from gland cells. Nerve cells they just nurse the other cells. And so when you talk about the nervous system, we discussed, and the reproduction is very special. Like here they do have asexual and sexual reproduction. Asexually, they produce buds. If the food is good, and they'll be just protruding out little, and once the tentacles have come, the tentacles, and this detaches, falls on the rocky surfaces, and then they lead a separate life. It is so simple. And they do possess testis and ovary, and it is a hermaphrodite. Sometime within the same animal it happens, or sometime they go for a cross, because the maturation time differs in some species. So they obviously release the thing and release the gametes in water current and reach the other animals. That also happens. And apart from all this, there is a special alternation of generation happens here. Alternation of generation in the sense, this is the polyp stage, like we discussed in the polymorphic form. The polyp stage will be forming the blastostyles, and this blastostyles will just grow to become, that is the buds, they are the buds, budding blastostyles you could say, and that will become this kind of a structure, and this is called medusae. And this medusae will be having the gonads, and this gonads are again meeting, male and female will be meeting, zygote formation and growing as a polyp. So polyp grows to become a medusae, and medusae grows to become a polyp, and this is a alternation of generation, and this is by asexual, and this is sexually producing the polyp. But here this alternation of generation is different from the one which we studied under plants, like sporophytic alternate with gametophytic. There it is haploid and diploid, or diploid and haploid alternation. Here it is not so. Here also the alternation of generation, but the speciality is both the forms, both polyp as well as medusa, are 2n, diploid, diplontic, diploid cells. And this is called metagenesis, the very special term, and this is very important in exam point of view. And one more important point is, see, alternation of generation is not exhibited by all the species under this phylum. Some are just living their life in the polyp stage like Hydra, and some are always in this medusae stage like jellyfishes, Aurelia. Some will be having like Obelia geniculata, so Obelia, they just go polyp, medusae, and then polyp, and then medusae, like they alternate. And this is very important in exam point of view, because they'll ask which of the species belong to this polyp stage or medusae or both kind. And they when you talk about their development as they meet, and the development is not direct, they have a larva stages, and they produce the ephyra or planula larva, very simple larva. And the other striking feature of Coelenterata is regeneration. Regeneration is very beautifully exhibited by Hydra especially. Hydra is the one which you cut a Hydra in any direction or any pieces or any smallest pieces, everything is capable of bringing out as a new full organism, and that is the beauty of Coelenterata. And the economic importance is also exhibited by this phylum, like the coral reefs yield good money via the tourism, and many countries are enjoying this tourism with this coral reefs. And that's all about Coelenterata. If you have any doubt on this, please put it in the comment section. We'll discuss further. Subscribe and please share. Thank you very much.